All right, all right. LDBC. This is your boy, Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Sports Show Live. Okay, guys. So I watched this Black Summit with T.I. Killer Mike, Candace Owens, and Katrina. And I don't even say the fifth guy name because he really didn't say anything, so it don't even matter about him. But I watched this whole thing, man. But what I did was I looked in the comment section. I looked into the comment section, and you had a lot of people in that comment section that they were really anti-T.I. Really anti, and they pretty much said that all his talking points were just emotional, immature, embarrassing. And I started thinking, okay, so what did Tip say that was so bad? Like, what did he really say? And then people were saying, yep, Candace Owens and Killer Mike. Yeah, man, they should have, these two should just, did all the talking and let the rest of these people shut up. Oh, okay. So Candace Owens and Killer Mike should have just, oh yeah, they stole the show. And I started thinking, okay, so what did they say? What did they say? Okay, what did they really, really say that people like so much? So then, I listened to the entire thing, and I got it. Oh, I got it. So basically, and here's my thought. This is what I got out of this, okay? People thought T.I. was ignorant, but they thought Candace and Killer Mike were not ignorant. They thought they were intelligent. It just seemed to me that, Killer Mike and Candace Owens, they were not, they were discussing issues. They were discussing the issues, but it was almost like they were blaming black people for talking about the issues in the black community. It's almost like, I felt like Killer Mike and Candace Owens was trying to say that whole narrative that, black people just complaining about racism, and that's all black people do. See, I kind of got that vibe from them, and I got that feeling, when they were talking, and Killer Mike tried to disguise it up. And ain't it funny, man? They thought Killer Mike, man, was just the most intelligent person, but after every other word, he's saying N-word. And you know what? And I don't like that word. I really don't like that word. And Killer Mike kept saying it, after every other word. And it was almost like, to me, he sounded the most ignorant. Okay? I didn't hear T.I. using that word, up on a platform like that. I mean, it was a setting where we were, there, or they were there to discuss the issues, okay? That's what it was. It was a setting where they were there to discuss the issues. And I just felt Killer Mike, to me, was the most embarrassing. I mean, T.I. conducted himself like a professional. He said Candace Owens, some of the stuff she was saying was straight BS, but I think that's the only time that Tip really got out of character. For the most part, Tip was being, he's being professional. Killer Mike was the one to my N-word this, N-word that, N-word this, y'all N-words. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? And this is the guy that people in that comment section thought was the most educated. Like, I don't get it, but now I get it, okay? Then when I start really listening to Killer Mike, talk even more, I start, oh, okay. So he's really against that whole narrative. Oh, well, black people are whining. You're whining. You gotta do this. We gotta get our own stuff. We got to do this. We gotta stop complaining and get our own stuff. We gotta, And see, the point would have made more sense. But see, I pretty much shut down after I heard him say the N-word for the fifth time. I mean, I was done. I was completely done. But nobody want to call this ignorant. How you going to explain this? So now, here comes one Candace Owens. Okay? And, could you guys see the tension between Candace and T.I.? I almost think, man, I mean, seriously, man, they were arguing like a couple. And, you can't hide that. Guys, I'm telling y'all, I'm good with this psychology, man. I'm good with this. And you can see the tension between those two. Oh, there's a lot of tension between Tip and Candace Owens. And I would not be surprised if they have ever really hooked up behind the scenes. Wouldn't be surprised. But they were arguing. And, Tip made some good points. And I even thought Candace made a couple of good points. I just thought that Candace, her whole viewpoint, she was more so against illegal aliens. Okay, that's really what she talked about the most. She talked about illegals. If you really listen to what she was saying, her whole platform is she don't want illegals over here. And I'm just telling y'all that's just what it was. Now, some of the other stuff she was saying, Tip asked her, he said, well, listen, what era do you want to go back and make America great to? It was a valid question. And you know what? Candace Owens, she couldn't even answer the question. He said, what era do you want to make America great again? And then Killer Mike talking about, Killer Mike said an era where the Jim Crow laws, were being put into place. Okay, Killer Mike said we need to go back to the era. He didn't say Jim Law, but he picked a time frame where the Jim Crow laws were actually there. Like where the Jim Crow laws were heavily favored. Killer Mike picked that era. But this is the guy that people were saying, oh, well, he's very intelligent. He's very educated. Yeah, okay, right. So y'all picked the black guy that seemed the most dysfunctional. See, guys, y'all got to read, you got to listen to every word. Okay, don't talk to no, when you're looking at something like this, man, don't talk to nobody. Don't speak to anybody, don't do anything, just listen to what's being said. See, a lot of people don't know how to just sit and read and listen. People don't do that these days. Okay, it was completely quiet. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't drawing nothing. I wasn't writing on nothing. I sat and I listened in a comfortable place. This man got on here and people didn't catch it because a lot of people probably don't know history. But this man got on here and said that the time that America was great again when the Jim Crow laws were active. Are you serious? And I'm supposed to take this guy seriously, but y'all say he's the most educated. How you gonna explain this? Yeah, man. It was a complete, I can't take this guy serious. I cannot take this guy seriously, and I'm not. You can debate all you want to, but you covered up all your intelligence with N-word this. So he's not. But people in the comment section seem to think that this guy was the most educated. Wow. Tip make a valid point. What time period do you want to go back to? When was America great? I mean, I guess, are we saying it now? Because racial tensions in America right now are very high. It's very high. And it's like every time you cut the news on, man, you hearing something else, man. So, I mean, what is a solution? See, I think they got the narrative going by starting to talk, but what is the real solution? I mean, you can't make a person stop being racist. You can't make a person stop their way of thinking. You can't make a person do anything. See, I think some of the issues that they talked about, I think they're very valid, I think a lot of the stuff they're saying were just really good points. Real good. Now, I'm not a Candace Owens fan, but I don't like how she was constantly being interrupted, I think you need to let the girl finish her point, okay? Just let the girl finish her point. Like, she has stuff to say, just let her finish the point. And I thought as the moderator, the guy who was the moderator, I thought that he should have really just put a muzzle on a lot of people's mouths and let the girl talk. Okay, because it's a debate. You can't debate if you're constantly being talked over. Okay, there is no debate if you're being talked over. That's just what it is. Okay? And, I thought that part of it was wrong. But I thought Tip said a lot of interesting things. Okay? Now, people misconstrue Tip when he said, hey, you know what? I took advantage of, what did he say? He said, I took advantage of the loopholes or whatever. He was talking about that because I'm rich. But let's just be honest. Okay, Tip didn't go to a bank and get a loan because, I'm going to be honest, okay? People that look like Tip, they're not going to get a bank loan. I done been, when I tried to start my gym, I went to the bank to try to get a loan and they wouldn't give me a loan. And I got perfect credit. My credit perfect. I tried to get a bank loan. And I tell you what, man, we did a little experiment, man. And this was crazy. We did an experiment, okay? And I went into the bank. And I won't tell you what bank. I went into the bank and I tried to apply for a loan. Okay, my best friend, one of my best friends from college, he's a white guy. And he went into the bank and his credit is like, it's bad. My credit is good. It's almost perfect. His is bad. And we both went in. You know what? He didn't get approved for a full loan, but he got approved for a partial loan. He got approved for part of what he asked for. Okay? Me, I couldn't even get approved for $1. Isn't that something, man? Isn't that something? He got approved for a loan. And so, of course, when we, went back and we took it to the bank and I actually had to get an attorney, it was a long, drawn-out thing, and I won't tell you the outcome and how much I was compensated. But I tell you what, though, okay, Tip, these banks ain't giving guys like us no loans. They just not. Okay? I don't care what you say. you know, people misconstrue that. Tip didn't go to a bank to get a loan and then start, you know, profiting off all this stuff going down. Tip did some illegal stuff. He got a past, okay? I don't think a man should be defined by his past. And, you know, he's a rapper. So he took some of that money that he made rapping and, you know, and he started investing in his community. That's what he did, okay? No bank gave this guy a loan, man. You know, he's rich. But he got rich, and I think people misconstrued that. He got rich by, you know, by doing it a different way, okay? He's not going to get a traditional loan from they're not going to give him a loan, okay? Probably even to this day, the guy's rich. Probably richer than everybody in the bank. Probably richer than the people that's the CEO of the bank, maybe. They're not going to give him a loan. And I think that's what Tip was saying, but people just took that out of context as normal, okay? People saying Tip ignorant. He's not ignorant. Actually, Tip is very intelligent. It's just because of his dialect and the way he talks, you know? It's because of his dialect. People think he's ignorant because, you know, he speaks with a slang. He speaks with a slang, but that don't mean a man ignorant. You got to listen to what a man say. And I thought Tip put Candace Owens in her place. But I think they've talked before, though. But there's a lot of tension between those two. And you can see her body language, man. When Tip told her, you know, she on some BS, she actually took it personal. And I've never really seen Candace Owens take anything personal. But when Tip said it, she took it personal. What's going on the side with these two? I'm done.